Hi, everybody. This is your girl, Qadriyyah Marie. I just want to say happy Wellness Wednesday to everyone out there. To give people time to join, I'm just going to start my intro video that I love to play. Um, Hope everyone's having a great evening tonight. I have a few things that I do plan to share with you guys. So we're going to get started with the introduction, and I'll be right back, you guys. Hi, so I'm back again. Again, like I was saying earlier, I hope you guys had a wonderful Wednesday. It's 2 days after Christmas, and I still can't believe that it's that time of year. I think it's hard for all of us to accept the fact that Christmas is already come and gone. Um, just to share briefly about that, Ty and I traveled up to New York and visited with his family, who I consider my family as well, and it was nice to just the traveling part of it, just the road trip, there and back, and just getting out of Maryland, and just that whole experience of being on the road and seeing, familiar cities and places and people again. So it was really nice for us to have gone up there, even if it was just for for 48 hours or such. So that I definitely had a great time with his family. So did he. They had a good time with us as well. And yeah, I know how it is when you move away. You don't get to spend as much time with your family like you would have, if you lived, in the same state or the same area. So we're 4.5 hours away from his family, 3.5 hours away from a lot of my family in New Jersey. So it's not far, but it's far enough that it's not necessarily like you get to see them every weekend. So I definitely cherish that, and it's always beautiful to watch kids open up their presents. So our grandnephew, which is so weird to say, our grandnephew Mason, um, he was just so excited and brought us all so much joy. He's pretty much like the son for all of us. So um, I really love seeing him open up his gifts, as well as everybody else. The adults, were just as excited to open up their gifts. And when Ty and I came home, we opened up our own gifts that we have for each other, as well as those that we received from other relatives. So it's always a beautiful thing. It's not always about the gift. It is about the thought, but sometimes it is about the gift when it's something that you really needed or something that you really wanted, and someone was listening when you didn't think they were listening, or they were paying attention and seeing what you needed, and got it for you. So it's always nice, to receive, especially if you're always giving. And I feel like, I understand Christmas is one day out of the year, but we should all make it a practice to do that throughout the year. Not necessarily giving in gifts or money, but giving to others in different ways. There's so much that we can give to others and give back to those around us, that we don't even realize it, that we have that within us already. It doesn't always have to be monetary giving. You just be giving a helping hand to someone, giving them ideas, pushing someone, motivating them. So many different things we could do. Cooking, a meal for somebody. There's all these little things that we could think of that doesn't really cost money or any money at all. So just something for us to think about, going into the new year. It is that time of giving. So we kind of have to have that mindset all year long, not just, during Christmas. But this definitely has always been one of my favorite times a year. Obviously it was hard because this was the second Christmas I had to experience, without my mom. And we actually stopped by and visited her grave along with my grandmother's, because they're both together. So on our way back home, we stopped in New Jersey on Christmas Day, and it was definitely hard, but we both said we felt a lot of peace, being there, and feeling not only my mom and grandmother's presence, but other people's, presence there. And it's just sometimes just being there, hearing the wind, hearing the wind, feeling the wind. And my mom is buried by the water. So it's a combination of all those things and the quietness. And there's a lot that comes with, visiting, your loved one's site. And I know it's not meant for everyone, but I know for me, it's part of my healing, being there, and knowing that I'm that close to them, that I was that close to my mom, standing over her. And I'm like, she's right here. My mother's always with me, but to know that she was physically that close to me definitely brought out all different emotions for me. But I would say mostly good. My mom wouldn't want me sad. She knows how much I love Christmas time. I was sharing with Ty about how, Mason's Christmas reminded me of how it was for me growing up as the only child, having all the gifts for me, and, my mother and grandmother sacrificing so that I can have all these different gifts to open up. And it wasn't that they had all this money, but it's just that they were thinking about me, and as parents, they wanted me, to wake up and have all these, these gifts to smile about. So they bought me stuff throughout the year, but it was definitely, a special day, Christmas time. So I thank them, for allowing me to grow up with childhood where I can say, my family thought about me. They definitely cared, wanted me to smile and be happy. So, if I'm ever blessed, to have a child, that is something I would want to, continue that type of tradition. And just part of what I'm talking about, giving and treating your loved ones the way that you would like to be treated or would have liked to have been treated. So we just gotta keep all these good things going. When our loved ones pass away, they leave us with a lot of things that we can take from them, from the memories we have with them, these different recipes. And we just gotta continue doing these things the same way as though they were here. They taught us a lot. So we need to, relay the message back to others. So I thank you guys for joining. Thank you, Ty. Happy holidays to you as well. As you hear, I was telling them about, our trip that we had, and I just really enjoyed myself this holiday season. And I know New Year's is right among us, and I don't know what I'm doing with that. I'll be happy just to be in the house at this point. I done did all the club stuff. I done went to see the ball drop. Done did all different things, and there's still a lot that I can do and we can do together. But sometimes it's nice to not do anything and just stay your behind home, watch the ball drop if they're still doing that, and just watching reruns. The Honeymooners, I believe, or the Twilight Zone, one of them I know is on for New Year's. Just sip, whatever you want to sip, champagne or water or whatever it is, and just enjoy your time, with your loved ones going into this new year. And it's crazy because I don't see people talking much about their New Year's resolutions anymore. So I don't know if people are just tired of lying online or what or what's going on, or they just haven't thought about any resolutions, or there's just been so much going on in their lives that they haven't even had time to really like sit back and think about it. But I have started the process of what I would like my new year to be. So that kind of goes into what my first topic that I wanted to talk about tonight. My first time spin cycling. It's my very first spin class on an indoor bicycle. During the summertime, we would go bike riding here and there, not as much as we would like to have done, but we've done some outdoor bike riding. And, it's just something just said, Qua, go ahead and try this class. It was a last Friday. And, I got out of work early, so I had time to come home and, relax and get myself together mentally, because there's a lot of mental stuff involved with any type of exercise, especially if you've never done it before. So I had time to come home and actually look up how, to prepare for your first time cycling and first time going to a class like that, and making sure that you eat, but not eat too much, and making sure you bring a bottle of water, and making sure you have a towel, and just these tips to tell you how, if it's too much for you, how to just go at your own pace, which is what they tell you anyway, the instructors, when you get to class. Let them know that this is your first time doing it, and so that they are aware, like, not expecting you to be all crazy and intense like the rest of the people that's probably there. So I did that. I introduced myself, and the lady that was there, the instructor, she actually wasn't the normal instructor. The instructor that's normally there, I actually met a couple of days before, because he's a trainer. Him and his family took a trip to Florida. So normally he teaches class on Friday. So I just happened to meet him a couple days before his trip. And the reason I met him is because I just joined this club. It's not called a gym, it's called an athletic club. They actually have 3 different ones, but I joined just one that's closest to my house. It's called a club. It's not like going to the club like shaking your butt club. It's you're going in and you're shaping yourself, into shape. So it's a club. They have all different weight rooms. They have a hot sauna, a pool there for like aqua therapy, and all these different classes, like what I'm mentioning tonight, spin cycling, yoga, which I'm going to talk about next, kickboxing. Oh my God, I can't even think of all the classes, because they have so many different ones based on which club you go to, and of course what time you're available. So all the different things you can think of. Racquetball, they have a racquetball league there, pickleball. Something that I just started to learn more about. Tennis leagues they have there. They have a basketball court. The other gyms, they have indoor track that you can run. So many different things I can't even think of. Ice skating rink. And there's just a lot of people that come through. The hours are long. They're open like 6 a.m. to like 10 p.m. So it's almost like a 24/7 gym, but almost. People there are, very friendly. You have your own lockers. Women's have their own lockers, men have their own lockers, and you can go in and shower. It's all different things, all the things that you would want to have in a gym / club membership. They pretty much have there. So I joined just last week, and I went to my first class the end of the first week. So I was really excited about that, because I'm like, I'm paying for this membership. I need to go. I'm not going to like waste my money or time. And this is something that's for me. So instead of me spending this money on something else that's not good for my health, it makes sense for me, being the healthy lifestyle influencer that I am, to do something for myself. So I wanted to join before the January rush came in with everybody joining. So I joined in December, and I got me, a free hat and everything. I was like, okay, they're giving out these gifts like that. So, I felt good. I felt excited, and I said, why not, join and test out the class. Tyrone says the spirit of giving a wonderful feeling, also giving yourself grace and a big pat on the back. You all deserve it. Yes. Thank you, Ty, for saying that. That's a big thing. I struggle with giving myself grace. People constantly tell me that, where, Qua, you need to give yourself grace. I might probably hear it at least once a month from somebody, telling me that. And I just think that's odd that I hear that constantly. But I'm sure people can sense that. And it's something that, I am working on. And I'm back, journaling as well and all that stuff, to get to that place of releasing all these different feelings I have, so I could get to that place of giving myself grace, because I do have a hard time with things that I would say is not, not in my control, that things that I feel like should be in my control and stuff. So going to this sped class, for example, allowed me to release a lot of that. It was a 45-minute class, nonstop. And I just happened to get the instructor who said that she's really intense. And I was like, of course I get the class where it's the instructor who's intense. So so a lot of sweating, a lot of me learning how to adjust my seat, because you think getting on a bike is easy, you think you just jump on, but there's certain ways that you actually have to properly adjust your seat, your handlebars, your back. You actually have to be very conscious of your body while you're exercising, because you really can't injure yourself if you're not sitting properly on a bike. And that's whether you're outdoor cycling or you're indoor cycling in a class. So I was fortunate that I had people there with experience who could look at me and they can tell me, oh, Qadriyyah, your seat is up a little too high. It needs to be at your hip level. So I was learning all these little tips and stuff. And like I said, it was my first class. So I actually may go back again this Friday, because of my work schedule, I can't go during the day. So I said, okay, maybe I can go this Friday, because I'm luckily I get up early again. So I said, oh, maybe I could do that. But this time, the second time around, I know how to prepare myself. Definitely, definitely know now to have something more on my stomach than what I did before, because it's been a while since I was that active. So I'm not used to, my body's not used to actually moving like that. Because when you're on a bike, you think you're just sitting there. But these cycling classes, y'all, is different, where you're pretty much moving the whole time. You're not just sitting. They actually have you get up and stand up. Now, the instructor I had, she had us in between telling us, make sure you sip water, but it wasn't like stop and then drink water. It was like we still had to have the pedals moving while we're drinking our water. And she would go up and name these different RPMs and seeing how fast you're going, and telling us to level it up and all this, from level 1 to level 4, and the thing went all the way up to level 21. And I was like, oh no, I'm not doing all that. So I pretty much just kept at the same pace, where all the people next to me, they were starting to go and all this. And I was like, no, this is my first time. It was good enough for me to even get to the class and to be moving at all, because I felt like my legs were about to give out, and it showed me how much work I still have to do. But I met people there. I networked with people, which is a big thing for me when I join places like this. I always think it's important and vital to talk to the people in your class. These people helped me because I was friendly. If I came in there and had, the bitch face and act like I knew what I was doing and didn't care for people, they would not have approached me or gave me advice on how I should sit and how to prepare for the class. So it's all about, how your demeanor is, and just how you are in the world. And they all came to me, and some of the ladies there, two of the ladies were talking to me about the different classes that they were doing, and how to continue with the cycling class and what it has been doing for them, for their health and stuff. So I appreciate them coming to me and talking to me. And I feel like by me doing this cycling class, I'm actually influence other young ladies, especially women of color, to get more into that. And we've been seeing more of that. If you go on Instagram, you see more Black women are biking, more of them are hiking. They are doing all these things that we probably weren't doing so much, 15, 20 years ago. Now we are getting into our health more, and we're learning different ways to see results, pretty much. There's so many different exercise activities that you can do to feel good and look good, and to get toned up, and just want to get your body moving. You guys, you always hear me talk about walking, about how important it is to just, walk 30 minutes a day. You can do that even in your house, if you don't want to walk outside. But I do think that's where it's important to join a gym or a club, because, as the weather changes, not everybody, wants to, to walk or run or jog out in the cold. Even though Ty will tell you that that's probably the best time, to do it, everybody is not equipped to do that. So that's where that comes into play, where if you're inside the gym, at least on the treadmill, you're able to still get your steps in. So that's pretty much my point. Just making sure you get that cardio burning, and just getting them old bones, moving and stuff. So we have to be able to keep that up, especially the older we get, our 30s, 40s, 50s, and older. It's imperative that we keep moving. keep moving them bones like that. So I just wanted to share that experience. Like I said, I will be going back. It wasn't what I expected. It was a lot more, but it was stressful, but it was also like I'm relieving stress at the same time. So now me going in the second time, I'm kind of prepared now where it'll probably be more fun, being the fact that I know what to expect now. So before mentally I was halfway there, but not really. So it was strenuous, it was stressful. I was like, why is I'm not able to do this? But I understand why, because I hadn't done it before, and it's not like I cycle every day. So now I kind of know how to prepare myself, and it's not just me going there. I actually have to do other things in the gym. I actually have to take advantage of, the bench press and doing pull-ups and things. So it's a combination of doing all these things. And one thing I do love about the club is that once I finish class, I can just literally walk down the hall and start pumping weights, if I'm up to it, doing arms and shoulder and back exercises. So I don't have to necessarily work my legs that day. There's other body parts that I can work on. So they have so many different pieces of equipment. Even though there's a lot of people that come there, they have so many different parts, different parts in the building with different pieces of equipment that you can utilize. So I'm definitely looking forward to taking advantage of all those things. So I do want to get into my next topic, my group yoga class. It's been about 4 years since I've gone to a group yoga, and even then it was like my first time. So it was definitely foreign for me to do this. So I decided to do it the next day after after my spin class. I don't know what possessed me to do that, but I said, hey, this might be more relaxing because the spin class was so intense. I said, hey, this is kind of the opposite. So let me see how this goes. Now, mind you, I did hear stories about how tough yoga can be with the different poses, and believe me, these people who told me weren't wrong about that. So I did it because my acupuncturist told me, with the issues I have going on my body, that I'm hoping I can get rid of completely someday, that yoga and Pilates would be beneficial for me more so than even the kickboxing. So right now, I'm still trying to figure out how I can incorporate getting back into my kickboxing, because I do love it and they do have a kickboxing studio there. But for now, I'm going to stick with the yoga because it's definitely beneficial for someone who needs their body stretched, like literally stretching your body. And yoga is not just focused on stretching and doing these different poses that you see on TV. It's actually relating to all the different chakras in your body. Now, don't ask me what all those different chakras are, but they're universal, pretty much, that people share. Whether it's your heart chakra or your uterine, it's all different parts of your body. So you're actually not just stress, you're actually connecting within your own self. So I really appreciated the class. I was probably the youngest one there in the whole class of 20 some people. So it told me a lot about our generation, because I'm like, why am I the youngest one there? Like, how is this possible? So it was a lot of older people there. It was two men in the whole class. And I'm sitting there like, okay, this is something that maybe, like the cycling, if I'm doing it more, maybe it will encourage other young women, to come and join it. Like, I hear women all the time, they say they do yoga at home, but they might be like me, someone who actually benefits more of being in a group setting. Everyone's not like that. Some people like to work out individually, which I do too, depending on what it is. But there's something about doing certain classes where you get motivated because the person next to you is pushing themselves. So you guys kind of feed off of each other. And in yoga class, you're actually spreading the love. At the end, we all, spread the love, to each other and to the world. And I think that's a beautiful thing, because it's about giving. It's like my life is starting to revolve around doing things that involves giving to the world. And that's something that I want to continue, and I actually want to do more of, and in even bigger ways. But right now, starting with yoga might be the start of that. Me meeting people there and just getting in touch with my own thoughts, because yoga does involve, a lot of stillness. You guys see the different poses. You actually have to like find your balance, literally, like have to find your balance. And it's definitely a challenge. Holding up your own weight and stuff, especially if you're thick in the thighs like I am. But it's for people, of all ages, all different sizes, male and female. I wish more men, would get over the stereotype, that yoga is just for women. That's not true. Also, the stereotype that yoga is not made for Black people, that's another myth that needs to go, because obviously I'm young and I'm Black and I'm a woman. So, I'm disputing, the myth of that. So I said, maybe if I'm doing more of that, and I post about it, and I tell people like I am tonight about the benefits of it, and then maybe it will encourage all types of people, to attend a class or two. Hey, cuz, what's up? What's going on with you? Thank you for joining. I just want to thank everybody that has been watching and hearing me talk. I appreciate you guys all the time. I just want to come on tonight, share a little about my Christmas holidays and my spent class, and of course what I was just talking to you guys about, yoga. I'm actually going to sign up for yoga class again this Saturday, and I'm going to start to look into doing other classes. I'm not a swimmer like that per se yet, but they have pool classes, so that can help me as well with any ailments that I may be experiencing. And just being in the water is very therapeutic. I hear a lot of people say, just moving your arms. You don't even have to be doing a whole lot, but I'm going to look more into that. So once I do that class, I'll share that with you all as well. Ben says, yes, girlfriend. Thank you, Ben. Ben was one of my guests in the past as well. And Ben, we might have to have you come back on soon, the beginning of 2024, because you dropped a lot of financial knowledge, and people, came and told me how much it helped them. What you were saying was very clear, and you're very knowledgeable. So I'm definitely going to have to get you back up in here, back and on the queue with Qadriyyah Marie. So we're going to have you on the future, but we'll discuss that in the offside. But I appreciate you coming on tonight. Also, you guys see that I'm wearing this hoodie. This hoodie is actually a former clothing line of mine that I had a couple years ago. I think, was it 2019-ish? 2019, 2020. I don't know why I didn't continue promoting it, but this hoodie is actually my mom's hoodie that I'm wearing. So right now it's a mixed feeling I'm having, because I'm wearing her stuff. It's my brand, but it's her actual sweater that, I keep saying sweater, hoodie that she bought. So right now I feel like I'm channeling my mom as well. I know my mom is here watching me, like she does all the time. But I'm actually wearing her hoodie that she bought for me. So I just thought it was very fitting for me to wear this tonight. As you guys can see, it's called Favorable One. I'm going to start, promoting this. I'm going to probably put the link on here tonight under the live. And I'm just going to start, like I said, promoting myself in general, but my brands that I believe in. This actually stems, from the Bible. Just thinking highly favor, of yourself. Really big on that. And if you don't think highly favorable of yourself, then you need to start doing it. So I'm going to start talking more about where this idea came from, where this brand came from. And even I had to go back and reflect on, what initially made me start doing this. And I had people buying it. I had people supporting me, with this. I have t-shirts as well in different colors and different sizes. So I definitely need to put this back out there. I still have my on the queue as well, but I think this will be something big if I was to actually put the effort in, because it is something that I do believe in. I do really believe in you reading this and looking at yourself as a favorable one. And you gotta repeat it, favorable one. So who knows, this can become, a hashtag or, slang. Who knows what what it could become. But it starts with me believing in myself and my brand and what I do, and knowing that I can have a big impact on those around me, whoever it is that I touch. And I know I've done that, but I feel like there's always so much, more. We always feel like there's more we could do. And when you're someone like me who feels like, you haven't even touched on, what your purpose has been yet, you have to start somewhere. And I have to do things in order to get to that place. So you'll never find out what your purpose is until you actually start doing things. You actually have to take action, is what I'm trying to say. So even if you try something and you fail, it doesn't work here, it might lead you to what it is you're supposed to be doing. Sometimes you got to do right. I mean, excuse me, do wrong to get right. So that's kind of, where I'm at right now. I don't look at things as, as failures. It's all lessons, to me. And I think that's what my mom would want me to look at things as well. Looking at what can I learn from this so that I can take those mistakes, as others say, and utilize them to make better moves and make better decisions in life. So I'm in a good place right now. It's very difficult, like I said, with the holidays, with my mom and other relatives and friends, that I have lost. But I think about the fact that I'm still here. They're no longer suffering. So who am I to not take advantage of being a favorable one? I'm here. God has me here for a reason or multiple reasons, and I need to take advantage of the fact that God said, you're here. You gotta get used. God is waiting for for me to allow Him to use me, because I feel like I have gifts, as well as all of you out there that's watching and listening. We all have gifts and skills, and we can't. We're not supposed to leave this world without having fulfilled them. Working on them and discovering what they are and giving them back, to the world, because they're not for us. They're supposed to be for, the world. And you guys hear me say all the time about, being of service to others. So, you don't want to go and then it's like nobody has nothing good to say. Like, what did you actually contribute? What did you do for people? It doesn't have to be, you haven't, become a big, movie star or a millionaire, but what effect did you actually have on people's hearts? That's where, it really boils down. When people, excuse me, boils down to, when people think of you, do they think of you as this giving person? And that's how my mother was viewed as. She was viewed as a giving and loving and selfless, genuine person with a big heart. And I hear people say that about me, but of course I look at, my mom was like the prime example of all the things good you can think about of a person. And I would strive, to get to that point, doing it my way. Of course, I'm a different person than her, but doesn't hurt to strive to be like someone who people viewed in such a positive way. So nothing negative was said about my mom before she passed or even after she passed. So I said, okay, that's the kind of memory that you want to leave others. Once you're gone to physical, you want to be able to leave that type of marks. Now, like I said, it's not always about money, but it's about how you made people feel, while you were here. So something for all of us to think about, for all of us to practice, in life. So I'm going to head out for tonight. Like I said, I'm going to put on the link. I have to get the store together first, but I'm definitely going to post about these hoodies. I hope you guys do support when you do see me talking about this and posting about this and promoting the line. Just support me. Same as this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Excuse me, for All the Q Productions, and just share this video and spread the word for me. I am going to be revamping the show for 2024. I don't know if I'm going to be changing the layout or what I'm going to be doing, but eventually things are going to start growing and moving faster for me, because I am actually sitting down planning out things that I want to do, whether it's with the podcast or there's other things, I have in store in my mind that I need to put pen to paper. So that's what I'll be doing. So I'm happy right now. I started the process again for my health. That's a big thing, and you can't do everything at once. So starting with a couple things now, and that over the next couple months in the next year, then I'll gradually, be able to work on these other things that I need to continue working on or get back to working on. So wish me luck. I wish you guys all luck as well for the new year. I don't know if I'll be back on here by the new year, but knowing me, I'll probably be on here New Year's Day as well. So wishing you guys, a happy new year. Again, I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas, whether you celebrated that or you're celebrating Kwanzaa or just had off, a couple of days, from work and enjoyed, the holiday break. So I want to send all my love to all of you out there. Again, keep sweating yourself to a healthier self. I know I have to remind you how to do that all the time because I'm really big on actually taking care of your health. There's a lot of things that we feel like we don't have control over, and I believe we do have more than we think, especially when it comes to your health. Yes, there's certain things you don't have control over, but there's plenty that we do. So we need to start taking better care of ourselves physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So it can be done. So again, I want to send love to all you guys out there. Thank you for joining. Again, please share for me. I really appreciate every little share, every like, every subscription. Means a lot to me. It's very, very there to me. So again, I want to say love you guys and peace and blessings to all. Good night.